Hey guys, this is SubjectDan1 again here, back again with another Dan Chat episode. I know it's been quite a while since I've done a Dan Chat, but I want to get back into the series and really get back to covering some of these more recent games that I'm picking up and giving some more in-depth thoughts and impressions for you guys. Today we are covering a PS Vita game that is a SRPG spin-off for the hyper-mentioned Neptunia series, developed by Compile Heart and Steam, and that is Hyperdevotion Noire, Goddess Blackheart. So what do you say we check out this game on today's episode of Dan Chat? The basic premise of Hyperdevotion Noire takes place in a world called Game Market. The goddesses compete for control over the world, but one day Noire stumbles across a mysterious woman, and eventually her powers are taken away by an unknown force. It's up to Noire and the rest of the goddesses to prevent that impending world destruction. Like the other hyper-mentioned Neptunia games, the game features a very wide cast of characters. In particular, Hyperdevotion Noire has one of the biggest rosters of characters in the franchise, because it is a SRPG and you do need various types of characters to fit certain classes and roles within battle. Besides the four main goddesses, there are over a dozen new characters who will join your ranks. As typical of the series, each character represents a parody of a certain game franchise, genre, or game developer. Some characters include characters based off of Dragon Quest, Monster Hunter, Final Fantasy, Metal Gear, and even a character based off the really obscure Wii RPG Epuna, because everybody played Epuna. But half of the fun, honestly, in the series is picking up on all these little subtle and not so subtle gaming and gaming culture references. The story, although typical at its core, is full of funny dialogue and banter between this absolutely large cast of quirky characters, and that's something I've always enjoyed with the series. The gameplay of Hyperdevotion Noire features cute chibi depictions of all the characters as you do battle against enemies on strategic grid-based maps. The SRPG component, which is the core of the game, is actually really well done and tons of fun. The game also features multiple difficulty settings, that way you can adjust the game to fit your playstyle. Each battle is separated into missions and simulations. Simulations are battles you've actually previously done and can redo for more experience and items. Missions are the core of the game, obviously. There are sub-missions and main missions, which have dialogue and story, and are often followed by battle. Each mission has various win and loss conditions to factor in, and this provides a nice variety. Before going into each battle, you can actually select and position the units who will be participating in battle. The gameplay is turn-based and has many factors to take into account. Elevation and positioning, for example, plays a key role in the effectiveness of your attacks. Besides standard attacks, you can use a wide variety of skills which are learned as you level up. These skills have various ranges to take into account, and skills are not just limited to offensive, but many defensive skills or buffs can be used as well. You can also use items as well as lift and throw certain objects to get to higher, harder reach places. And the battlefields themselves are actually very varied and have various hazards or little stage gimmicks to factor in, and this really adds to the strategy component of the game. There is also a kissing mechanic within the game. Yes, you heard me right, a kissing mechanic. The mechanic is called the Lily system, and this comes into play when characters are adjacent to each other. When a character uses a skill and is adjacent to fellow teammates, they will receive pecks on the cheek and gain LP points, and this very slowly increases characters' Lily ranks with each other. LP points can then be used for HDD transformation, as well as very powerful special moves. Outside of battle, you can do various things in the Last Station hub. From here, you can talk to various parody characters who offer some entertaining dialogue. You can buy items and equipment from the shop, mission HQs where you go to take on new missions and progress the story, as well as replay missions. Disk development allows you to make software using blank memory devices and load them with idea chips, which gives you various status effects and can be equipped to your characters. The Basilicom is where you can read requests and redeem sim points to decorate Noire's room. The CPU Hotel allows you to talk to all your party members, as well as view past videos, listen to music, and view past illustrations. And lastly, the item development allows you to craft new items, weapons, and accessories with collected materials. As for the presentation in the game's presentation is actually really colorful and charming. Character portraits, although 2D, are very energetic with various facial expressions, and the in-game chibi characters work well, considering scale and proportion, and they're obviously very cute. The monsters and enemies are varied, and are often references themselves to other game franchises and culture as well. As for the soundtrack and music within Hyperdevotion Noire, it's your typical affair and very reminiscent of music in the other Neptunia games, with some standout tracks here and there, but very average. Overall, Hyperdevotion Noire was actually a really pleasant surprise for me. As a huge SRPG fan and a big fan of the series, I went into the game not really expecting much from it, and found myself hooked. It's a SRPG which offers plenty of depth to keep you engaged, without tipping onto the overly complicated side. The SRPG gameplay is flat out fun to play, and doesn't get worn out, because the game keeps bringing variety with different mission conditions and insanely varied enemies, and really fun battlefields. The story and characters are chock full of charm, and it's quite humorous in many ways. The series' appropriation and parody of gaming and gaming culture is very entertaining and brings a smile to my face, and I find myself laughing quite often. This is a great spin-off for the series. It may very well be one of my favorites not only in the series, but on the platform itself. For fans of the series, this is definitely a must-play, and for those who enjoy a nice SRPG, well, you might want to look into this one. Till we chat again, guys, thanks for watching as always, and please take it easy, everyone.